What? Holy May. Wow. What is this? Oh, May. Oh, look at the beautiful glitter. And look at this, May. Ooh. Oh man, that is epic. Yes, May. Okay. And bang, shaboom. And here I am. Here I am. And that's what she said. Grudge. I can't say a swear word within the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video. Shadow. Rambo it. And look at that. Mate, these are epic. These are so good. Caspersight. Hi, Ben. Back at you again. I hope you and your family are well. Your podcast with Mindseed TV was incredible. Rambo it in America, dude. Thanks, mate. I will do. I'll try to. I'll get there, mate. I will do. Hope you like your stickers. Love and support always. Kylie. Dubplate Designs. Dubplate Designs. Yes, mate. Thank you so much. Oh, it looks like an oil painting of some sort. It's on a canvas. Just Rambo it, mate. You shadow I don't know if this is within the first 30 seconds. Caspersight. Mate, that is so cool. Who's done this? Look at the little letter with a little kitty cat at the bottom, mate. To Caspersight, I am Maya main prize. I'm 12. I love watching your YouTube channel. I hope you like a picture I made. Maya. I meant Mia, okay? I meant Mia, not Maya. It's Mia. Thank you so much. 12 years old? Look at you. Huh? Look at you, mate. You keep that up, because that's bloody brilliant. I got a big box. What's in the box? Oh, mate, we got a bloody picture going on here, mate. Oh, mate. Mate. And that's that is a nice frame. Huh? Look at me. That's my profile pic for bloody Twitter, mate. Follow on Twitter. Mate, that's so good. I love that. I love that. It's got a little signature there as well. That's going in the lounge, okay? Not like I don't like looking at myself that often, but... Look at your writing. Let me try and read it. It's beautiful writing, but if it's not typed, I struggle. Hi, Ben. My name is... Mate, what is that? What is that? There. Lena? Oh, fuck. Man, I'm going to hold this up to the screen, but I'm going to get my missus to try and read this. I'm going to get my Spanish-speaking missus to read this in English for me. Your handwriting is absolutely beautiful, but I struggle. I think I must be dyslexic. I must be, because I struggle with anything other than typed. I got to get myself another shelf, you know. I got to get myself another shelf. I've got to get myself another shelf. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caspersight. How the devil are you, mate? Today, we're going to be looking at something a little bit different than the normal reactions, okay? Today, I thought about, let's have a little think about the science behind the paranormal, okay? So I've stumbled across this channel. We all probably know it. It's called TED Talks. Brilliant. If you haven't subscribed to TED Talks, mate, please go over to this TED Talks, subscribe, and do the thing. All right, and this one is called A Scientific Approach to the Paranormal. And this is a story that Carrie Poppy is speaking about, all right? Now, this seems quite interesting. This goes on for a few minutes, like 13 minutes, okay? Unlucky for some. But let's have a little look and have a little discussion about what we see and what we hear and what we think. Okay. Without further ado, diddly day. Let's do this. Shh. Go on, TED Talks. Jesus. Ideas worth spreading.
8 years ago, I was haunted by an evil spirit.
What are you laughing at?
I was 25 at the time, and I was living in a tiny house behind someone else's house in Los Angeles. It was this guest house. It had kind of been dilapidated.
Sorry, hang on a second. What am I even doing? I'm sorry.
Not taken care of for a long time. And one night I was sitting there, and I got this really spooky feeling. Kind of the feeling like you're being watched, but no one was there except my 2 dogs, and they were just chewing their feet.
There is a theory about that. You know, when you've got a feeling that you're being watched, apparently that is something that your ancestors experienced years ago, and it's actually in your DNA. That it's almost like an animal instinct, apparently, that if you feel like somebody's watching you, it could be your awareness is actually heightened in that moment.
And I looked around, no one was there, and I thought, okay, this is just my imagination. But the feeling just kept getting worse, and I started to feel this pressure in my chest, sort of like the feeling when you get bad news, but it started to sink lower and lower. It almost hurt.
Was she having a panic attack or something?
And over the course of that week, this feeling got worse and worse, and I started to become convinced that something was there in my little guest house haunting me. And I started to hear these sounds, this whoosh, kind of whisper, like something passing through me.
Oh, flipping hell, mate. All right. Okay. Let's carry on.
And I called my best friend, Claire, and I said, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think there's a ghost in my house. I need to get rid of it. And she said...
It's amazing though, isn't it? Because if you're not into the paranormal and you don't believe in ghosts, and you got a phone call from somebody, like a mate of yours, saying, I think I've got a ghost in the house, most people's natural reaction or instincts would be like, shut up, mate, whatever. Just you being paranoid. It would be totally, like, they'll just dismiss it straight away.
She's very open-minded, and she said, I don't think you're crazy.
Okay.
I think you just need to do a cleansing ritual.
Yeah, clearly her friend is fully into the paranormal. I'll bring some sage over and some bloody and some crosses, mate. We'll sort it out, and a bloody Ouija board. Don't do Ouija boards.
Get some sage and burn it and tell it to go away. So I said, okay. And I went and I bought sage, and I had never done this before, so set the sage on fire, waved it about, and said, go away. This is my house. I live here. You don't live here. But the feeling stayed. Nothing got better.
Just imagine if priests did that, you know, as someone's been possessed? Right. How long have they been possessed for? 2 weeks. All right, I'll be there in a bit. Don't worry, it won't take long. Sweetheart, get the sage from the cupboard. Light some sage, throw it in there, fuck off!
And then I started to think, okay, well now this thing's probably just laughing at me because, it hasn't left, and I probably just look like this impotent, powerless thing that couldn't get it to go away. And so every day I'd come home, and you guys, this feeling got so bad that, I'm laughing at it now, but I would sit there in bed and I would cry every night.
Oh, wow.
And the feeling on my chest got worse and worse. It was physically painful. And I even went to a psychiatrist and tried to get her to prescribe me medicine, and she wouldn't, just because I don't have schizophrenia. Okay.
No, I don't have schizophrenia. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Yeah.
And So finally, I got on the internet and I Googled hauntings. And I came upon this forum of ghost hunters, but these were a special kind of ghost hunters. They were skeptics.
Oh.
And so they believed that every case of ghosts that they had investigated so far had been explained away by science. And I was like, okay, smart guys, this is what's happening to me. And if you have an explanation for me, I would love to hear it. And one of them said, okay, have you heard of carbon monoxide poisoning?
Oh, what?
And I said, yeah, like gas poisoning? So carbon monoxide poisoning is when you have a gas leak leaking into your home. And I looked it up, and the symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning include a pressure on your chest.
What?
Auditory hallucinations.
What?
And an unexplained feeling of dread.
A what? Holy May! Wow! Let's go.
So that night, I called the gas company. I said, I have an emergency. Need you to come out. Don't want to get into the story now, but I need you to come out. They came out. I said, I suspect a gas leak. They brought their carbon monoxide detector. And the man said, it's a really good thing that you called us tonight, because you could have been dead very soon.
Holy shit! Yeah, you ain't laughing now, are you bastards?
37% of Americans believe in haunted houses. And I wonder how many of them have been in one, and how many of them have been in danger. So that haunting story has led me to my job. I'm an investigator, and I'm an investigator in two senses. I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm also an investigator of the claims of the paranormal and claims of the spiritual. And that means a few things. Sometimes that means that I'm pretending to need an exorcism so that I can get, yes, that's right, so that I can go to an exorcist
and get them to come around and throw some sage in there, mate, and job done.
And see if he's using gimmicks or psychological tricks to try to convince someone that they're possessed.
I don't think it's as easy as that, though. I thought that, unless I'm just watching too many films, but I thought you can't just phone up a priest and say, hey, look, I think I'm possessed. Can you come on over? Like, there has to go through so many different procedures and so many different levels of hierarchy to give it the okay to go there, you know? That's what I thought. I don't think you just test people, you know?
Sometimes that means I'm going undercover in a fringe group.
I mean, how does she also act possessed? Eh? She's like, hi, yeah, I'm possessed. What makes you think you're possessed? Get the fuck out! I'm fucking possessed! Come on over now! I don't think you're possessed. Possessions, their voices don't be like, okay, I'll be right over. What?
Which I report on for a podcast that I co-host. And I've done over 70 investigations like this with my co-host, Ross. And I would love to tell you that 9 times out of 10, science wins, it saves the day, it's all explained. That's not true. The truth is, 10 times out of 10, science wins, it saves the day. And that doesn't mean there's no such thing as a mystery. Of course there are mysteries, but a mystery is a mystery. It is not a ghost. Now, I believe there are 2 kinds of truth, and it's taken me a while to get to this place, but I think this is right, so hear me out. I think there is outer truth and there's inner truth. So if you say to me, there was a man named Jesus and he once existed, that's outer truth, right? We can go and we can look at the historical record, we can determine whether that seems to be true. Mm-hmm. And I would argue it does seem to be true. If you say, Jesus rose from the dead, ooh, trickier. I would say that's an outer truth claim. because he physically rose or he didn't. I'm not going to get into whether he rose or he didn't, but I would say that's an outer truth claim. It happened or it didn't happen. But if you say, I don't care whether he rose from the dead, it's symbolically important to me, and that metaphor is so meaningful, so purposeful to me, and I'm not going to try to persuade you of it. Now you've moved it from outer truth to inner truth, from science to art. And I think we have a tendency to not be clear about this, to try to move our inner truth.
But isn't that just faith, though? It's not about denial. Yeah? You're not denying to hear anything other than, that he did raise from the dead. It's more about, I don't care what science has behind it, what could possibly be and what could not possibly be. I believe it because that's faith. That's where faith comes from. Now, I'm not fully religious or anything like that, but I do believe that, you have to have faith in things. Some things can't be explained,
Truths to outer truths, or to not be fair about it to each other, and when people are telling us their inner truths, to try to make them defend them by outer truth standards. So I'm talking here about outer truth, about objective things.
See, the thing is, you could, if you had faith in something which was proven incorrect, that's no longer faith, I think. Am I contradicting myself here? No, because Jesus raising from the dead can't be proven. It can't be, and that's why you have to rely on faith. But once you've got scientific data that proves something hasn't or is or has, then you can no longer have faith. You have to have like an understanding or an opinion on it, right?
And there was an objective reality in my haunted house, right? Now that I've told you about the gas leak, I doubt a single person here would be like, I still think there was a ghost too. Because as soon as we have these scientific explanations, we know to give up the ghost. We use these things as stopgaps for things that we can't explain. We don't believe them because of evidence, we believe them because of a lack of evidence. So there is a group in Los Angeles called the Independent Investigation.
What was that?
Things that we can't explain. We don't believe them because of evidence, we believe them because of a lack of evidence.
Oh, we believe them because of a lack of evidence. Okay.
So there is a group in Los Angeles called the Independent Investigations Group, or the IIG, and they do great work. They'll give a $10,000 prize to anyone who can show, under scientific conditions, that they have a paranormal ability. No one's done it yet, but they've had a couple people who claim that they were clairaudience, which means that they can hear voices either from the great beyond or they can read minds.
Oh, this would be interesting. Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that claim that, don't they?
And they had one person who was very sincere, who believed that he could read minds. So they set up a test.
I don't think that people can read minds. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. Maybe there's people that can pick up on sort of energy, vibes, that they can maybe sort of translate into some sort of language where they can just, paint a picture and express it. I've got a feeling that you could do that, but I don't think you can just read somebody's mind.
With him, and this is the way it always works. The group says, okay, we have a protocol, we have a way to scientifically test this, do you agree with it? The person says yes, then they test it. It's very important that both sides agree. They did that, they tested him, and they said, okay, you know what, you weren't able to predict what Lisa was thinking outside, it matched up about the same as chance. Looks like you don't have the power. And that gave them the opportunity to compassionately sit down with him and have a very difficult discussion, which basically amounted to, hey, we know you're sincere. And what that means is you do hear something in your head. And that guy got to make...
That is a really difficult conversation. We know that you think you can hear voices, okay, but they're not real.
Make the very difficult decision, but really the life-changing decision about whether to go get help. We're actually helping.
So she's basically saying that people that are claiming to hear voices, from a different world, realm, paranormal universe are crazy. This is what this woman's saying, is it?
People to make these connections that maybe before seemed like otherworldly explanations help draw us into reality and maybe change our lives for the better.
See, for my birthday yesterday, my missus treated me to an aqua spa day, right? It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I saw a friend in there. I was like, mate, how's it going? And he told me about a medium friend that he's got, or a friend of his missus, that is absolutely incredible and knew things about him that nobody knew. And he said to me, he goes, Ben, I used to be a skeptic, so like proper skeptic, but after speaking to this medium and she told me stuff like, it'd be impossible for that person to know this. I was like, oh shit, oh man, I don't want to know, I'm freaking me out. But is it something that you when you're hearing it from a medium, you start to connect the dots? They give you something, and then your mind starts going crazy and starts going, okay, yeah, but hang on, that could connect to that, and that could connect to that, and then all of a sudden you go, how did you know that? Or is it 100% legit? Because he was a skeptic, so you would think a skeptic would be very sort of like fence up, don't want to hear it, this is all bullshit. So how did that medium break that wall down to get into that seed planting, Very strange.
Now, on the other hand, maybe one time it'll turn out to be true. Maybe we'll find out there are ghosts. Right. And holy shit, it'll be the best thing. And every time I do one of these investigations, I still get so excited. And I'm like 75 into them. And still, I swear, on number 76, I'm going to be like, this is the one. And I mean, maybe I'm just eternally optimistic, but I hope I never lose this hope. And I invite you to take this same attitude when people share their outer beliefs with you. When talking about testable claims, respect them enough to ask these good questions, challenge and see how you can examine them together. Because there's this idea that you can't respect a belief and still challenge it, but that's not true. When we jiggle the lock, when we test the claim, we're saying, okay, I respect you. I'm listening to what you're saying. I'm gonna test it out with you. Like, we've all had that experience where you're telling someone something and they're like, oh, it's really interesting, yeah.
Cool story, bro.
You know you're being had, but when someone says, really? Huh. It sounds a little sketchy to me, but okay, I'm listening. You at least know you're being engaged, you're being respected. And that's the kind of attitude we should have with these claims. That's showing someone that you care what they're saying. That's respect.
All right, fucking hell, chill out, don't get angry. Check the bloody monoxide thing, is it okay? Yeah, she's fine.
Now, yes, most of these searches will come up empty, but that's how all of science works. Every cure for cancer so far has not panned out, but we don't stop looking because...
They have got a cure, I'm sure, right? They have.
And for two reasons, because number one, the answer matters. Whether it's looking at the afterlife or the paranormal or the cure for cancer, it all amounts to the same question. How long will we be here? And two, because looking for the truth, being open-minded, and being willing to be wrong and to change your whole worldview, it is awe-inspiring.
That's the door, shush. Sorry about that. Where were we? Oh yeah, she's getting possessed, wasn't she?
I still get excited at ghost stories every single time. I still consider that every group I join might be right, and I hope I never lose that hope. Let's all never lose that hope, because searching for what's out there helps us understand what's in here. And also, please have a carbon monoxide detector in your home.
Yeah. I think that's the best bit of advice I've got from the whole thing, Make sure you've got an up-to-date and a carbon monoxide sensor in your house, mate. Well, that's interesting. Some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with. I do think that, a lot of paranormal things can be explained, but I don't think just because she's been on 76 ghost investigations and science has proven it all that you can say, well, that's it, yeah, paranormal doesn't exist. You know, as you know, I'm like pretty much a skeptic, but there is that bit of doubt in me, you know, that it could be real because there's a lot out there to prove that it sort of is real, that can be explained, you know? So, I don't know, what do you think about it, huh? What do you think about this? This is cool. I might try and find something now which counters it, you know? Counters the argument. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, mate. I hope you liked it. It was something different. I saw it. I Googled it. I saw it. I was like, that would be good. Anyway, mate, thank you so much. If you did like it, please leave it a little like and subscribe and do the thing to this channel. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Get the merch at Caspersight.com. Just Rambo it.